In the warm depths of the ovarian tissue, an egg waits, haloed by a delicate membrane. Dozens of sperm race toward it, their tails beating in unison. One reaches the surface and binds, releasing enzymes that soften the outer coat. Its head slips inside, leaving the tail.
Within minutes of fertilization, two separate nuclei drift toward each other, carrying the genetic material of both parents. As their membranes dissolve, the threads of DNA begin to intertwine. The structures fuse, forming a single zygotic nucleus, signaling that
a single fertilized egg, the zygote, drifts in its microscopic world. Its first act is to split. One becomes two. Each cell divides again, forming a compact group of four, an early step on the journey to life.
X-Force. Around the fourth day after fertilization, the early embryo reaches what's called the morula stage. Here, 16 to 32 blastomeres have divided from the original single cell and begin packing tightly together. As compaction occurs, the membranes.
As the early embryo reaches the blastocyst stage, the hollow sphere begins to take shape. A fluid-filled cavity expands, pushing cells to the edge. This compact cluster is the inner cell mass, the group that will eventually form the embryo itself.
The blastocyst drifts toward the uterine lining, guided by chemical signals. As its outer trophoblast layer meets receptive epithelial cells, matching receptors lock together. The cells flatten and extend tiny processes, beginning to anchor the embryo. Within hours, the trophoblast.
As implantation completes, the inner cell mass begins to reorganize. A sheet of columnar cells, the epiblast, forms on the side closest to the amniotic cavity. Beneath it, a layer of cuboidal cells, the hypoblast, spreads toward the yolk sac.
As the embryo organizes, cells begin to migrate and sort themselves into three primary germ layers. The outermost cells spread across the surface, forming the ectoderm, shown here in cool blue. Beneath them, a second wave of cells moves inward and between, generating the mesoderm in orange.
Here, at just over 3 weeks of development, the primitive heart tube has begun to beat. Its rhythmic contractions drive the first flows of blood through the early embryo. Beside it, the flat neural plate is folding. The edges rise, forming a central groove. As the folds meet.
At just a few weeks, the embryo is little more than a curved ribbon of cells. Yet on each side, tiny buds of tissue swell outward, blueprints for arms and legs. Over the next moments, these buds stretch and hollow, sculpted by countless.
At just a few weeks old, the embryo has taken on the recognizable shape of a tiny human. The head is large, the limbs are budding, and beneath the translucent skin, vital organs are beginning to organize. Each red flash marks the beat of a brand new heart. Within the curved skull,
Within the amniotic sac, the fetus floats in warm, protective fluid. The placenta anchors to the uterine wall, delivering oxygen and nutrients. Through the pulsing umbilical cord, lifeblood travels to the developing body. Gentle